everyone. We are live. Good morning or good afternoon to everybody. Happy Thursday. My name is Christian and I'm the disruptive chef, entrepreneur, host. I'm excited to talk to you about something very special today. I know a lot of culinary and a lot of hospitality professionals want to have their own business. So today we're going to talk about the ultimate guide on building a business in today's food service industry. So with that, let's get into it. Hello again. My name is Christian. I'm the disruptive chef, entrepreneur, host, and I'm excited to talk to you guys today a little bit more about the ultimate guide to build a business in the food service industry. And for me, being 35 plus years now in the food service industry, I haven't met a chef or somebody driven in the industry who hadn't had the desire to maybe start their own restaurant, start their own cafe, maybe build a plant-based product brand or an ice cream brand or doing something outside of the job they're super passionate about. So today I want to talk to you about 5 foundational things you need in order to get any business off the ground, especially in the food service industry. So number 1 is laying the foundation. Be really clear of what you want to do and what the business will look like. The second one is we need to build that brand to support the vision you have. If you overlay the brand, we need to top the brand with operational excellence. If we don't do an amazing job with our clients coming in, it will be difficult to get the business off the ground. And from there, we need to support it with a strong financial management. And if these 4 things are in place, we need to switch towards growth and scalability. So let's get started with any of them. So laying the foundation, for me, I call it laying the foundation because it's not just the basis, it's laying the foundation to do your proper research, understand what is the gap and what is not just the gap, but what's an underserved gap and segment in the food service industry. So you could be super passionate about plant-based ice cream, plant-based products, or that you want to create maybe a very special cafe. And in my town, we have a brand new coming to town, and it's called the Farmer's Cow Cafe. I love the name. I love the way what it looks like. So far, it's not open yet. But I love that there's a creamery attached, and they did their market research. It's a really super simple menu, and they were able to create a niche. And it's my understanding this is something they want to do throughout the organization. So for me, laying the foundation is conduct your service, analyze what is your competitors look like, what do they do, what are some of the consumer demands, and where do you see a shortcoming or a need for a new product in the marketplace, and also get really clear on how you gonna serve it. If you have that done, you need a business plan. And if you guys listen to our show, I'm a big fan of a one-page business plan because that becomes your marketing plan for marketing. And then also analyzing the market. What is my target audience? What does my competitive landscape look like? What does my marketing strategy look like? And what are my financial projections and my financial forecast? From there, we need to overlay, make sure that you understand all the legal and all the guidelines in your state. Make sure you understand health and safety regulation, food labeling laws, zoning requirements. And it's really important to consult with a legal expert during that form or that stage of your exploration. The second thing is we need to build that brand. We need to choose a name, and the mission needs to feel friendly. It needs to feel fresh, and designs not just a logo or business around it, which represents you, who you are, how you came to be, and how you want to serve your community the way nobody else can. A friend of mine started a creamery, and it's called Jill Crafter's Creamery. If you guys haven't done so, check it out. It's called Jill Crafter's Creamery. And his slogan is, he handcrafts happiness. For me, this just really tells you with one step of what you want to do. So design a logo and make sure it reflects your brand. Make sure you have a slogan to support that. The next one is the marketing strategy. You need to formulate a marketing strategy which you know will work. You can use social media for that platform. You can create your own content, maybe give them behind the scenes on what it looks like as you building your brand and building that physical brick and mortar place. You can also talk to them about customer testimonials, that do you do tastings out there. If you do plant-based seafood, for an example, go out there and hit the market and see where's the need of that plant-based seafood, and maybe even capture some of your future customers tasting your product and giving you feedback. For me, leveraging influencers around partnerships and run targeting ads to reach your desired audience is critical. And from there, you need to create your USP, which stands for unique selling proposition. What makes you unique? Is it the way you serve it? Is it the way you prepare it? Maybe your background, maybe it's fair trade. Some of the ingredients could be, hey, that they mimic a certain texture. It could be mimic real seafood if you do that. And emphasize that commitment to sustainability and quality, which kind of supports your marketing efforts. For me, point three then is really simple. It's around operational excellence. And we talk about this a lot. If you want to build a reliable supply chain, you need to partner with a GPO. A GPO can be your resource to get your hands on products you normally couldn't. You know that they will look out for your best interest. You know they will support you in getting rebates and great pricing into the marketplace, which is super, super important. And also, they can help you establish relationships with local farmers, other suppliers, and they will get you consistently high level ingredients. You need to create that logistics plan with a partner which knows what they're doing, because it needs to be timely, it needs to be efficient, and it needs to be also something which can serve you like nobody else can. And you need to implement a quality control around the products coming in, so you know it's consistently the same for your clients and for your business. And then around the operational excellence, we need to run an efficient operation. We need to streamline operations. You can leverage technology. You can leverage software on it. You can reduce waste, for an example. You can implement standardized procedure for preparing a certain dish, which makes it unique. And it's not just the way it's unique, it's also in a way which maintains its quality and its efficiency. Regular reviews of those standards and those processes is critical. You need to do them almost on a weekly basis. If you get some feedback, we talk a lot about the feedback loop. If you get feedback from your clients, from your employees, from your partners, bring it into consideration and make sure you regularly review and optimize your processes to improve productivity. Then we need the proper staff to execute it. So you need to develop into your staff and the training. You need to have or invest into a training program which is uniquely to you, the way you want to serve your clientele. You need to conduct regular training sessions, new recipes, customer service skills, food safety practices. Encourage your team to be part of a professional organization. Attend workshops, attend courses, foster a positive work environment within your team, because that reflects on morale and that reflects on the quality of work they put out. There's a lot of companies which talk about employees are my most important asset. They talk about it, but they really don't practice it. What we chose to do, our employees become part of the organization. And when they hit a certain level of participation, we make them owners. They own a small piece and they can get more annually. We found that works for us. And we want to make sure that our staff continuously knows that they invested in the business and we invest into them. If you have that operational efficiency done, you have the proper training, you have the proper efficiently operations, you have your unique SOP, you have your marketing, you have all of that done. We need to understand proper financial management. And we talk about that a lot. In our industry, not a lot of chefs, hospitality professionals understand that. I read a survey yesterday, literally yesterday, which said that any business in the hospitality industry is the biggest or the fastest or the largest area of failure in any other business. They used the example that somebody had a home which was worth 800,000. He had $1 million in a bank from all of his Roth IRAs and everything else, that he wanted to take all that money and build it into a restaurant. never worked in the restaurant industry, Don hasn't had any experience, his partner didn't have any experience. This is a surefire way for you to not to succeed. This is not an easy industry. It's a very difficult industry. It's a very hardworking industry, and not understanding the background and the financial management of it is really, really difficult. And the way I encourage you to do it is really simple. You budget around what your menu is going to be. You have proper forecasting. You need to develop a detailed budget and a detailed financial forecast. You can create a monthly budget you can use, and you include all expenses. You have rent, you have utilities, salaries, raw materials, food. If there's any marketing, if you have special events coming in, or everything you need to do to have a proper forecast, and you align this with your projected revenue. You can use financial forecasting tools. There's a ton of them out there. Be using a few different ones. And sometimes we feel like we create our own. So for us, number one, budgeting and forecasting is important. And budgeting, you know exactly, you give the chef a budget. This is how much you spend on seafood. This is how much you spend on beef. This is how much you spend on produce, and make them stick to it. So you know exactly what the cost of goods are, and do proper inventory in your forecasts. Then around funding and investment, make sure you explore various funding options. You consider traditional loans, venture capitals, angel investors, or crowdfunding. For me, I personally haven't done crowdfunding, but you could have a compelling pitch deck which could work for a certain kind of business. If you feel like you have a business plan which really executes who you are and what you want to do and how you want to bring this to market, it's easy to create a financial projection around that. Build relationships with potential investors and tailor your pitch to their interests. And for me, a good example is, as we started working with my friend's ice cream company and we were looking for investors, having the right pitch for the right person makes all the difference. We thought we did a good job tailoring to that, but there was one guy, and it was a perfect fit. He was also a perfect fit for the organization. So really important, have a deck which is attractive, which explains who you are. Keep it short, keep it to the point, keep it in the one-page business plan, and lay out what your financial business forecasts look like. And then hopefully you get some financing around them. And then also we need to overlay cost control. You need to have cost control measures. You can negotiate better terms with suppliers. A GPO can help you. You can reduce cost. A GPO can help you. You can monitor expenses closely. And we talked about, just give them a budget. You need to have this one for dairy, this one for meat, this one for produce. It will help significantly. And then also, when you have your menu in place, you consistently find ways of reducing maybe your costs of goods. You can have maybe a cost-effective packaging going in there. And as you develop your menu, you find better way to produce product, and you can find ways to be more efficient. When you have all of these four done, then it goes around growth and scalability. You need to have a plan for strategic growth. If you're a successful restaurant owner, consider maybe opening additional locations or franchise it, or look any other models for you to partner within your business. And for me, in our town, we just got a Starbucks. I heard we get a Jersey Mike's, which I think is a really good fit to partner with a Starbucks. We have that other new brand which came into town. So you need to research potential markets and develop a detailed expansion plan. How many locations are you looking to open if you chose to franchise? How do you fund them? How do you support them from a culinary and operational format? How are you gonna support them from a financial management? How do you support them from a marketing point of view? So really, really important for any strategic growth plan that you ensure that you have the infrastructure in place and the resources to support those initiatives. Have a detailed plan, have a really good idea how you want to get about of doing that, and make sure you have the proper resources aligned to that. Then we need to get into innovation. And how do you adopt that innovation into that? For me, you hear me say this all the time. You need to continuously innovate and adapt for any market changes. Food concepts changed faster than ever. Menu items change faster than ever. You need to stay updated on industry trends, what's going on. Maybe there's a new way of serving it. Maybe there's a new consumer preference. Maybe there's a new ingredient. Maybe you need to create a new menu item around it. Maybe you need to keep your offerings fresh and exciting. And then also implement that feedback loop. We talk about this a lot. Implement a customer feedback format, whatever that looks like, that you know exactly how to measure the products, the services you provide, and the feedback you get in. And if you have that feedback, how do you going to implement it for that new innovation, that new change, and how to adapt it into your operation? In our restaurant, it was simple. We always looked at the bottom 10, that the bottom 10 which didn't sell. How can we innovate it? How can we make it different? How can we maybe upscale it? Or maybe how can we even simplify it? Sometimes it wasn't the dish itself. It was just the way we served it or the way we promoted it. Proper training, we talked about that earlier, for your staff is key. And then also allow them to have pre-meals. For me, that's the biggest thing anybody can do to keep your staff excited. Have them try a new dish, have them try a new special, whatever you choose to do. And maybe repeat it back, because certain verbiage or certain way of selling it to a client is key. You could tell them the steak is great, or you could tell them the steak is hand selected by the chef. He trimmed it himself. We have it on our special grill, whatever that grill is. Chef has special seasoning. He lets it rest before he puts it on a plate because he wants to serve it at the peak of its perfection. A lot different than we have a great steak. Really, really important. And finally, I want to kind of bring it full circle. You need to encourage your staff, your partners, to listen and take steps towards building not just your business, but their own future. It's really important to bring your staff online with what you want to do and where you want to go, so they know what they're part of. The study we heard also yesterday is that our restaurant industry has a 300% turnover. That means your staff will change 3 times a year in a restaurant. It's really difficult to bring consistency. It's really difficult to build a clientele and a customer base if you have that high of a turnover. Really, really difficult. So if you choose to and you feel like you need some additional support, leave us a note below. We can send you our one-pager business plan. Absolutely, there's no cost to that. We can send you that for free. If you need additional resources of the things we talked about, let us know. We can help you around business planning, marketing strategies, and forecasts around budgeting. You can also get to the Disruptive Chef Club, which is our private community where we do directional sessions just like this all the time. We recorded a session today on how to get your message out there via a book. We do this all the time. How to scale up your staff, how to make more out of a dish, how to innovate better, how to become a better leader, and how to become a better operator. So I hope this gives you a little bit of glimpse. If you follow these 5 steps and you have a clear plan, and you hear me say this all the time, you need to be intentional on how you plan it out. You need to be intentional. Step number 1, laying the foundation. Find your niche. Make sure you have a business plan that works, and know and understand what are your regulations on the product you want to produce. Number 2, build that brand. Really go deep and identify what your brand is going to look like. How is it going to support your cause? How is it going to support you, and how are you going to support it? Then also make sure you have a marketing strategy that works. Super critical that it aligns with all the other things. And then make sure you highlight your USP, your unique selling points. Third one is operational excellence. And you hear me talk about this a lot. For me, Number three is where restaurants succeed and where restaurants fail, besides the other ones which come. Because if you don't have a supply chain management, if you don't have operational efficiency, and if you don't train and you develop your staff, you will struggle. And it doesn't matter how good you are on the next one, which is the financial management. Understand your budget, understand your forecast, understand the funding opportunities you have, and how you can control cost. And then finally, around growth, understand and be really clear and guide or find some support who can guide you through what could an expansion of your business look like. Is it another brick and mortar, or could you go virtual? Could you go a smaller format, or do you need to expand? Really have a clear understanding what it is. And then also understand how you take that feedback and adapt it back into your innovation of the product you try and produce. And finally, make sure you understand the customer feedback and how to improve upon it. So with that, I want to say thanks for being here today. Hopefully that helps you to give you an idea on how to create a successful brand in today's marketplace. We do it all the time. We created 3 new brands already this year. And this is the 5 steps we follow. So again, with that, I want to say thanks for being here today. Hopefully they gave you a glimpse on how to do it. If you would like more information, feel free on the note on the comments below. Give us a shout out. We can jump with you on a 15-minute call, absolutely no cost, and help you find your unique USP or help you with your brand, or we can help you with marketing your product. And if you haven't done so, please click below, join the Disruptive Chef Club. It's our private community where you get updated on the latest and greatest things we're doing. And also share your feedback. What are your food ideas? We share all of the feedback we get. We get back to all of them, what we do. We read every comment because it's important for us to serve you. We know we can. And we want to make sure that we provide value in you spending these 25 minutes with us. So remember, until next time, remember to disrupt your kitchen. Fire up your career. Stay hungry for change. I'm Christian, your disruptive chef entrepreneur host. I'm signing off for today. Make sure you beat the challenge. Be the chef who sets the world on fire, and then go out there and be